Hi guys, welcome back to the SNL After Show 2017, the first episode with Felicity Jones. Join us right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's the Saturday Night Live After Show with Kimberly Crossman, Katie Wilbert, and Amy Maestri. And now your hosts, the three people I just named.
That was our first attempt at an amazing intro. Thank you, Zach. Yes, well that is right. I am your host, Kim Crossman. You can find me on all things social media at Kim Crossman.
I am Katie Wilbert, and you can find me on all internet items at Katie Wilbert.
Yes.
And I'm Amy Maestri. You can find me on also all of the internet things at Amy Maestri.
So here we go, episode 1, 2017 with Felicity Jones. Amy, kick us off. What did you think overall? Some general wide brush statements.
All right, I'm gonna get the big brush out.
Yeah.
I think it had its moments in small writing. I think overall it was just a lot of sketches that I feel like we've seen done over and over again, and there wasn't a lot new to it.
Sure.
But I think it had its moments, and she got better as the episode went along, I think.
Katie?
I doth concur.
We're three agreeable women. No. Yeah, I agree. I think this is probably one of the episodes I wrote more quotes down than ever before.
Me too.
But yeah, I don't know. I have not seen Rogue One. I don't know a lot about Felicity Jones. I think her mouth is interesting.
You know, I feel like a lot of British people move their mouth.
They move their yeah.
Interesting. Like Keira Knightley is very parlay. Like she just you want to just kind of control
move it
the
more. Yeah.
Like.
Well, I feel like they're
Yeah.
speaking with this lip. This lip's doing the speaking, not this one. Does that make?
What do we do?
Only the top one doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we bottom heavy?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm foreign too.
Are you a bottom or a top?
Let's talk about this. The real questions. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting choice. I mean, I get it. Rogue One is out. I don't think she was super strong comedically, and we'll kind of go into that in a little bit more detail soon. But have you guys seen Rogue One? So you're not like huge Felicity Jones fans, or you are?
I think she's a good dramatic actress.
Okay.
I saw Rogue One and I forget the name now, but the other Dan Brown movie it's the third of the Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code.
Zach?
Okay.
What was that called?
Inferno.
Thank you.
Yes.
Kim just staring.
Yeah, I'm just staring like, I don't know.
I could just imagine.
Don't cut to me.
I was imagining the posters of like the statue bleeding, but
Sure.
it's not called statue bleeding. It's in
Sure.
fact called Inferno. I saw that and she was great in that. Like she's a very good dramatic actress, but not, I don't know.
So I really enjoyed the cold open, and it got slammed in a lot of reviews. What did you think of it, Katie?
Wait, what did they say in reviews?
They were like, it was one of the poorest things. We're over this Trump thing. Surely starting 2017, we weren't going to start with another political open. Personally, I thought it was extremely well written. I laughed out loud multiple times, and I think it was kind of a different take on it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it because I thought that the press conference was ridiculous, and I liked the points they brought up with Trump, and I feel like they tackled a lot of things in one setting to kind of, make him look like an idiot, and I found that enjoyable. I don't think it was new information. I don't think it was a new format of doing it. There wasn't anything like super exciting about it, but I did find the writing very funny.
I one of the quotes I wrote down is, yes, this is real life. This is really happening. I thought that was really funny. And the fact that Three Doors Down is performing at his inauguration is one of the funniest things. Did you guys know about the pee-pee party? Had you heard about that? Like, did you understand the
I had to
reference?
look it up afterwards.
Okay.
I had heard a little bit about it, but not enough to like fully.
So from my
To fully understand
understanding,
the
the
pee-pee
story is that he got a room that the president had stayed in and got hired girls to piss on the mattress.
Yeah, he hired hookers to pee on something that the Obamas had slept on. Basically, is
which is
our new president.
That's yeah.
If that's real, That's horrific.
This is so awful. But I liked how they kind of get urine. I thought that was really funny, like making the jokes off that. What I liked about this episode is I feel like SNL was very self-aware of the fact that Donald Trump watches SNL every week. Every week they slander him, and every week, this week's no exception, he has something to say about it. So this week he went to Twitter, where he does all of his great reporting. Also, I'm like, why are you watching SNL? You have a country to run. Like,
right, that was
an
my
hour and a
thought,
half
too.
out
Yeah.
of your day to be like, grr. So he wrote, at NBC News is bad, but SNL is the worst of NBC. Not funny, cast is terrible, always a complete hit job, really bad television.
So is he just going to watch every episode from this point forward, even during his presidency, to let people know he's spending an hour and a half not being a president and watching SNL just for his impersonations to then get on the internet and be a douche?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so.
Cool.
He really loves the word hit job, too. I think
Yeah,
every
it's such a
week he
curious
just calls
thing.
it a hit
Hit
job.
job.
A hit job?
It's a real hit job, Katie.
What is a hit job?
I don't know. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, well, me and my sister were talking about it. It sounds like a 13-year-old, like from the 90s, who would be tweeting, you know, like the way he
Yes.
just will say something and then be like, sad afterwards. So I think the way that they kind of like went after him a bit harder in this one, like to really just look like an idiot, I think they should, that's great. But I mean, I don't understand why people are getting upset that they're still doing Trump. Like,
They have to.
they've still, I mean, they've been running it into the ground since the beginning because look at the guy, he's a disaster. So
Right.
of course they're doing it, but
But I think Weekend Update in the opening monologues is probably where it's going to sit. I'm glad it did it. It wasn't like through all the sketches, because then I think it is too jaded. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there was so much that went on with Meryl Streep. You know, like there's just been a lot, and I think they handled it in a really interesting way.
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Monologue. What'd you think, Amy?
Tina.
Yeah, right?
I put Tina, exclamation point,
Yeah,
exclamation
me too.
point.
I actually started to get angry at the audience when they didn't start clapping right away. I was like, it's Tina Fey! And I just started freaking out because they didn't realize it was her at first. But
What a contrast, though. Like, and of course, I mean, she's been on that stage. Like, when you take someone who's so comfortable and put them next to someone nervous, the person who's nervous looks so nervous. I was like, wow. It felt to me like a choice to help save her, because she was obviously physically a little bit uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
A little disappointing when you're like, oh, we made you a host, but we don't trust you, so we're going to put in a ton of cast.
yeah,
But
pretty
that's
much,
okay.
because she was like super stiff right away. And then,
Yeah.
it made it, I think, almost worse when Tina came on just because. Yeah, she's so at home doing that.
so comfortable.
But I loved when she was like, why are you a hologram? Are you like Tupac? And Tina's answer was, in so many ways. But
Yeah.
It was so good.
I thought that you would have liked Amy, as in case you didn't know, Amy's not the huge Keegan fan, but how she's like, and once I revealed the secret that if you remove Keegan, the whole place will implode. I was like, that's really funny.
that was probably, I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. That is the only logical way that man can still be part of this cast. And now I get it. Everyone's
also-
going to explode
now.
if he
Yeah.
leaves.
They also called out the writers and Leslie, and they're like, if we don't know how to finish a sketch, we'll
yes.
just bring
that was
Leslie
my
in.
favorite part.
I think that's what I liked about it, because I haven't, I think SNL is self-aware, but like actually calling stuff out that we've been aware of, it's nice to know, like, oh, they get it.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Like,
people
it's
who
endearing.
review it
Yeah.
who are being like, it's reviewed and way too much. Because she's right. It's a sketch show.
Sure.
Like, it's sketch comedy. It's like, it's half of it's gonna be shit because half of sketch comedy is shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't get around that. But yeah, I loved everything she said. It's reviewed too often. If at the top of a scene you're saying, hey, this is my friend Ray Ray, you aren't the funny one. And if Leslie Jones comes out in the end, then the writers just couldn't figure out an ending, which I was like, I love that they're just
They know.
addressing-
Yeah.
It's like part of me goes, oh, they know. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine if they know.
Okay, they know when they're shit.
Yeah. So, do you guys watch The Bachelor? I know Katie and I do. Do you watch it, Amy? Or you don't
I do
care?
not.
Okay, cool.
No.
So then maybe some of this was lost on you. This
I
next
think
sketch,
I would love it.
Well,
By the way.
beard hunk.
I think I can watch like very small portions
Okay.
of reality TV, but yeah, that's what I was almost wondering. I was like, okay, some of this might be lost on me. I get what they were doing, because I mean, like, I understand those kinds of shows and how they work. So,
Yeah.
but I know that they've done this before. So again, I was just kind of like,
There were a couple of specifics which I think if you're a Bachelor fan that they called out, he says, "How old are you?" And she says, 24, but my face is 36. And I think that's a really funny commentary on it because they put their ages and their occupations, and it's like, I don't think that's completely incorrect.
I've never met a 24-year-old who looks 40.
Yeah, no. Another thing I wrote here, asked Josh about ombre. I was watching this with my partner Josh, and they made a joke about ombre, and he's like, "What is that?" And so I had to explain it to him. But I like that they called that out too, because pretty much the entire cast has all got ombre.
Oh yeah,
Katie has ombre hair too.
That was one of my favorites that I wrote. Yeah, I have the most abrupt ombre.
Yeah,
abrupt. Yeah,
Abrupt ombre.
very specific. I think my favorite line in this one was Kate McKinnon. I'm a judge. Mental bitch. And that's so funny. What do you think, Katie? What do you write down?
I liked, as always, minimal Asians, because that's very true. There's usually like one girl who isn't white. Mm-hmm. It's like probably the least diverse show on TV right now. And I'm the worst girl in any room. I really liked. And Kate's progressively more slurry. Can I stall him for a second?
Yes.
Like, it just kept getting worse. Like, I'm going to stall him for a second.
So this was also Felicity's first kind of sketch out the gate. I felt like she wasn't sure on, like, it's like she needed to heighten the character. I don't know. I just didn't find her part of it very funny, and I know they were trying to make her the funny in this scene, and it didn't really work for me. What do you think they could have done, maybe, Amy, to, like, counter that?
Yeah,
Because it, like, lost as soon as, like, and it's like,
I think they
not
needed
even a
to,
delivery
yeah,
thing.
they needed to give her something more to do each time she came in, because she stayed on one level the whole time, I think. So it was like very, like, I didn't remember her in the sketch really. Like I like actually right now trying to think of one of her lines, I can't, and I can recall a lot of the other ones.
yeah, I can't.
Oh, she did. My name is Allie, and I was born in an Ashley. I mean, my name is Ashley, and I was born in an alley.
Good, and that's about the performance level there too. Isn't it? It's a direct. Good job.
I mean,
Going for it.
I think there was nothing that really made her stand out as a, like, if everybody else seemed normal and then she came in being like, I was born in an alley and I have a sister who's trying to kill me and my dad is a sausage, then you'd be like, this chick's freaky.
Yeah.
But everyone else was like as weird.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of like monotone reading the cue card. She wasn't physical. There was nothing.
I just find it interesting when they are so obviously reading the cue. I don't know. I find that strange. Anyway, I mean, whatever. I don't think it was great. Kate McKinnon was great, and then we've seen the sketch a bunch of times. And
they've done it when Selena was on it. It was the same exact thing. It's just a different round of contestants.
Yeah.
But like,
And just like the lead-in that they say the same thing when they sit down, and then like tapping each other in and out.
Good.
It's like Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do, like it needs to be something. I mean, it needs to just go kind of batshit. Otherwise, it's like, okay, there'll be a couple of lines that you'll remember and think are funny, but overall, it's just
it's like this improv game where there's like 4 chairs and you're pretending you're in a car and everyone, like the driver is a character and then everyone has to be that character. The driver finds a reason to escape and then the new person is here, they pick up a passenger and they're all a new character and it's like this wheelhouse, like, so it feels like one of those games that's just there to like showcase characters and then the person exits, but it's like, I don't know. We've seen it.
Yeah, and the characters they're doing aren't anything
well either.
special. So it's like,
well, they were giving her brash lines too, like I have 5 STDs. And it's like when you're not the funny person in the sketch, like that's not nice to hear. Like,
right?
You should be like being weirdly sexual or like playing against it. Like I've got 5 STDs rather than I've got 5 STDs. Next person goes like.
you're
It's just yuck to
her.
hear. Like, no, I'm worried for you.
The outline was that she got she has a one piece, and he's like, well, that's not gonna do.
Yeah.
You're leaving. I'm like, really?
I was waiting for Leslie to come in.
right.
Yeah. Actually, now that you're saying that, I think I get. She was supposed to be crazy, all these things, and then the one deciding factor is that she's not wearing. But the writers should know one pieces are actually like really cool right now. So.
They're super in. That's true.
Anyway, so was this Chandra? I can't read my and
Chandra and Malik.
Malik.
Yeah.
Amy, what did you think? Cool.
Yeah.
Scene. Katie.
Okay, I actually liked this.
Okay.
And I liked seeing Kenan be serious, and I thought he made like a really fun gangster. I haven't seen him do something like that. I feel like he's always some kind of big character. But this time, him being, like, serious, I loved it. I thought that was really cool. I did like the game of him being like, don't come around my block anymore. And then getting in, the car's not starting, and they're helping each other. I don't know how I would have saw this ending differently, but, like, them blowing the car up was another one of those things. Like, I remember maybe 2 seasons ago, there was one where they, like, all leave the house after someone's singing and performing, and then they, like, just run in, they just all die in a car crash. Like, it felt like,
What?
It felt like, yes, I still remember it because I did the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
So I guess I felt like curious to see what was going to happen between these two characters who clearly care about each other but don't want to, and then they just all explode. I don't know. I don't know.
I felt like the opposite because I wasn't curious because I knew what was going to happen in every step of the sketch because it was too easy of a game, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just like, oh, okay. He's acting hard and now he's going to need help. Okay, now he needs more help. Oh, no, she needs help. Now they're going to explode. Like,
Amy was like,
Amy's
this
unimpressed.
scene will end with
Seen
them
this.
exploding.
so I was a little let down by that because I feel like I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a fun game and like
The game
seeing
was
them play
obvious,
off
yeah.
each other is fun, but I just felt like it didn't have anything more to it to make you like interested to see what's going to happen next.
Well, here's a curious thing to dangle. Paste Mag, the people at Paste Mag, who have no idea, but that's fine. Perhaps people know Paste Mag, or they're listening. They called it the contender for Best of the Season sketch. So,
What's wrong with you, Paste Mag?
I
wouldn't say
don't
that.
think that's...
I didn't dislike it.
Either I missed
Yeah.
entirely what it was, or maybe it was a spoof of something, and if you know, or Zach, did you like it, or no? Maybe... He's left. He's gone. Cool.
Zach has
so,
left the building. Yeah. I
Great.
mean,
Also, Tim's literally
I liked
gone.
it, but I
Cool.
think you're
Don't throw
right
to your
that the
producer,
game
'cause he
was
doesn't
like
care.
kind of obvious, but I did like it.
Oh, well. Theater donor.
I nicknamed
Bueller?
it Rainstorm, which is probably the perfect name for the play was called Rainstorm.
Okay. I was like, deep. That's really, really, really fucking deep. Like,
I really wish.
you should have left it there. Like, So I decided to call it Rainstorm.
I wish I hadn't
Scene,
explained
and you
that.
should have just left it.
Oh, I
That's
wish.
it.
I wish. That would have been much funnier. No, they named the play Rainstorm.
Okay.
Before it started, she goes, and this is the world premiere of Rainstorm. So I was like, this sketch must be called Rainstorm. But I now I'm going to stand by it because I feel like it was the perfect explanation for what this sketch ended up being. Just a bit of a rainstorm. I wrote down Love Kate's melodrama.
Yes.
Like her acting was great. So was Beck's.
Their turnaways and their holds. And,
It was so enjoyable. That I wish I could see the world premiere of Rainstorm. You know, the game of this old, creepy, sick guy was really weird.
Yeah.
I wrote down the thyroid yogurt.
Don't know if that's
Yeah.
a thing.
Is thyroid like it was just. Here's the thing. It's that thing of like, we know this guy shouldn't be here and this would never be allowed to happen. But here he is very loudly talking during a play, getting yogurt forced into his mouth. Why is she taking a sock off? What?
Really
What,
not.
what nurse? It's not.
I
It
don't
didn't even
know.
feel like real activities a nurse would do. It felt like I'm force feeding you thyroid yogurt and taking your
Yeah.
socks off now.
I fixed my mic.
Oh, you were
hi.
there.
I was here, but
Whatever.
If I fixed my mic, I mean I
Fixed my
realized I
mic.
had muted myself.
Oh, so you were like, they're just not listening to me. What? welcome
I
back.
imagine this is something related to diabetic socks, which I remember the first time seeing, be like, I don't understand that.
Oh,
The
did they
thyroid
say
thing.
he was diabetic at the top? Did I miss
I
that?
don't-
Maybe.
No.
That's the only type of medical sock I've ever heard of.
Okay.
I guess like the whole, in my opinion, it would have been funnier if he didn't speak, and she could be loud and crazy. And like if he's just like carcass human and she's trying to feed him and do stuff and he isn't fighting back, like even if it's just background stuff, she didn't even need to speak. Like they could be doing this play and she could be changing an adult human in front of people. Like
Yeah.
that to me would have been funnier than everyone was just yelling.
It was just
Yeah.
loud.
And then they ended with a phone call and they're like, "You're a dick." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, like, why are we all yelling? I did say super cred to the background actors who were like able to either it was just not funny at all that they were like, it's not funny at all, so I'm not gonna break, but they were like congratulations to you. Let's fly the flag for like extra acting because they were really invested in Rainstorm. So
Rainstorm. Yeah. It looked like a
But,
sketch
yeah.
that was like meant to be a sketch within a show, like a show like 30 Rock, when they would show like a ridiculous sketch it's not meant to be funny, but it's like something crazy. Like they would always show like Tracy Jordan had a character that just like threw up over everyone, and it was like literally one of those excuses to just have something crazy and messy happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like this is something like that they would have on like a show within a show kind of thing that's poking fun at it.
Yeah. Right.
Because it was that bad. So other than like Mikey Day committing to the character, I really don't.
I just think, yeah, it would have been more funny or distracting if, like, you have the shot of them doing their acting, and in the middle is this old guy, someone's trying to change, or she needs help, but, you know, then
Yeah.
everyone's, like, I don't know, that to me would have been funny.
You're right, though. They could have done that all silently, and it would have been just as distracting as him being like, "Sir, I have to take off your medical socks. Sir, sit still. No, Keely, no." Like,
Disinfect the chair, poof, poof, special effects. Like,
it was just.
What was that disinfecting? The air around them?
I guess
Like,
that's the thing too. I'm like, you picked very unreal things. Like, why is a nurse disinfect? No, it didn't. Like, I
or
guess
like
it
she
just
should have
felt
changed
like,
his catheter and it should have sprung a leak or something. I
like
don't know.
something real.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like
anything
real
real.
thing. Maybe
Anything
thyroid
real.
yogurt is a thing. Dunno.
Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Can we figure out if thyroid yogurt is a thing and we're just being
And if
dicks
not,
and we're
where to get it?
yeah.
Susan B. Anthony. Amy?
I liked this a
Yeah.
lot because I feel like it did such a good job at poking fun of people who will like change their profile picture on Facebook for like a cause or something and then like 2 seconds later be over it. I feel like that's what these characters were. Like that was that kind of character, like these girls who are just like, oh my god, she did so much, and really like seem
Yeah.
like they're invested, but then they're just like, yeah, we're over it now, Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah.
And just kind of get like kind of more vapid as they go. So I really enjoyed this.
I thought the line, piggybacking off that, I agree. I enjoyed the social commentary on this one. The line, I fought so women like you could speak their minds. It's just such an interesting time as well, because I think it's like, you know, we're given a platform to be heard, and then it's like, should everybody be heard? Like, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Not just women, like I think people in general, but I liked how it was like a bit of a call out of some of the feminist stuff. Cause
Yeah.
it's like, there's an example later, which I'll bring up in Weekend Update, which is perfect for this as well. I thought the end line was interesting. Abortion is
yeah.
murder. Like,
And them going, what?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird.
I wasn't sure. It's like, oh, I kind of want to hear more now, because that would have been more of an interesting
Right.
argument,
Yeah.
potentially.
I did like her being like, what is that? What is that? What's a phone?
I liked how did you notice how everything she was flicking? She's like, you ladies see my desk?
Yeah.
And she would just continue to be flicking
Yeah.
it.
Everything Kate was doing to try to get them to like win them back over was
She was
perfect.
just like weirdly flicking it.
I liked their unanimous, like, oh, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really great. Wow.
I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Well, guys, I have an update.
Oh, yes.
Thyroid yogurt, not a thing.
oh.
However, according to eatthis.com,
Oh,
Valid source.
yeah, we're going to trust them, every spoonful of yogurt acts as a protective shield for your thyroid.
so really, all yogurt is thyroid yogurt.
So that was just repetitive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a redundant saying, wasn't
So
it?
you know.
Great.
But I guess since no one knows that, they felt the need to be like, let's explain to our dumb viewers
Yeah.
that yogurt is for your thyroid,
Hey,
so let's
dummies,
just
this'll
call it
help you.
thyroid yogurt.
You
Yeah.
didn't know SNL was an educational program?
It is too.
it is.
Well done, SNL.
Yes, it is.
So weekend update. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or saw this article, and Amy, I'm not sure if you saw it. Did you see the Michael Shea scandal?
Oh, I
The
heard
text
the yeah, like he was on like Tinder or something. He talked to someone and then
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, basically, Michael Shea and this girl connected on a dating app and then kind of had a few texts back and forth. He was clearly not really into it, and it's clear from his text messages he wasn't rude, and anyway, had a few messages back and forth. She then kind of starts prodding him, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. She then writes a blog about how much of an asshole he is, screenshots all their conversation, and puts it on the internet that he's a misogynist and an asshole and treats women like shit. If you read his text messages, I actually completely disagree. I think he just wasn't really into her. And she's like, he thinks I'm fat and stuff. And like, no, he doesn't. That isn't what he said. He was calling himself fat and lazy. And he just doesn't want to date you. And now you're bitter. So I felt really bad for him. And I, whether you're a Michael Shea fan or not, I feel like that's a pretty shitty thing for a girl to do, to be like, he doesn't want to date me, I'm going to ruin him. Like,
It was, yeah.
it's uncomfortable to read, but you should read it and, let us know your opinion. Maybe you guys can read the text messages a bit differently, but she was like baiting him.
yeah,
I
her
read
texts
it-
were super weird and like
And like
aggressive.
aggressive.
It basically felt like a girl who was like, oh, I'm talking to a famous person. We have mutual friends,
Yeah.
Hey, why aren't you talking to me? Oh, you're being kind of mean because you don't want to talk to me.
Here's
but-
a new picture of me looking really pretty.
Oh god, that was the worst.
Yeah, this is a better picture of me. It's newer. Why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you talking to me? Oh, so you're an asshole now? You fucking dick. Like, that's basically how that went. It
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
it felt like a girl who couldn't get the hint. This happens in life, and it's okay.
And then she sends him the link to her blog, and he just gives the thumbs up emoji, which I thought was bold. Like,
Yeah, he was just like, cool. Good stuff.
strange.
Real
Anyway,
strange.
I would love to know what you guys think, if you think differently, because we're all about waving the flag and being like, yeah, everyone treat each other right, but that was a dick move on your behalf, and
just
gives
think-
women a bad name, and makes us look crazy.
It
We
does.
look crazy enough already.
We didn't need more help.
Anyway, what did you guys think of Weekend Update?
I wrote down some jokes. I wrote down, well, at least Nazi Germany had the guts to take on Russia.
Nice.
I
yes.
liked that. I liked, how does he, do you like how I'm reading it?
Yes.
How does he have that much paper and none are tax returns? He called CNN fake news live on
I
CNN.
thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Steve Harvey for housing development.
So I thought when they played this in the cold open, I didn't know that was a real thing. I was
I
like,
didn't
what an
either.
interesting joke. And then when
Yeah.
it's a real thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a real thing.
Well, it
That's
goes to
so
like
funny.
because that joke on Update, it's the exactly what everyone is thinking. I think it was the first joke of like, I think Trump
Wouldn't
is
it
just
be
going like,
funny
hey, yeah,
if-
like wouldn't it be funny if?
It's so true. No, this can't be real life.
It is.
But it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
real. We should be watching SNL, being like, "Gosh, they have big imaginations."
Yes,
so
but
crazy
no-
and
Wouldn't
creative.
that be weird if our president did that? I can't imagine that world. No.
You can. It's
We're living
right
in it.
now. What did you think, Amy, of Pete Davidson's first impressions?
I liked it just because it was something different.
Are you cool with Pete Davidson being Pete Davidson, like as his Weekend Update character?
Yeah, I think it's fine for him to do that as himself because it really is essentially a stand-up bit.
Yeah.
What he's doing. So I mean,
he is a
I'm
stand-up.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm totally okay with that. I think that's when he's at his most comfortable too. Anyways,
Yeah.
like that's when he's at his best. Like same with Leslie. But I enjoyed it. I liked the one who once I have $1 billion, okay, maybe $1 trillion.
Yes.
And I think it's fun to do just to see him switch it up a little bit and not be like the resident young person or like
Yeah.
the stoner, like to do something a little bit different. So I think it was refreshing. It wasn't the funniest thing, but it was refreshing, I think.
Katie, what do you think of Pete?
Yeah, I liked it. I wrote down kids in America would have good posture and kids in China would get a day off.
That one
I like that
cracked me
too.
up, and it was one that the audience is just like,
Are we allowed
Can
to
we
laugh
laugh
at
at that?
I liked the Beck Bennett character because I've been watching a lot of like influencer stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is exactly like that. Just like kids who are like, yeah, my hair's just naturally, and like I liked how he was calling it out, and it just fell on deaf ears. That was quite funny to me. Did you like?
I liked it. I liked him saying, I do little songs. I have, instead of most albums being about 10 or 12, I do about 300 to 600.
Yeah.
Like, the number was so extreme. And I liked his attempts at singing. I enjoyed it. It was silly.
Yeah, for me, I think, again, this whole episode was just stuff that I've seen 100 times, but this, I still think he did a good job with it, so it was still enjoyable for me. It's not a thing that I want to keep seeing over and over again. Like, I think I'm good at something, and I'm actually bad at it. Like,
Sure.
I feel like that's such an overdone thing, but he's so lovable when he would go from, like, being super into it with a song and then just being like,
His
smiling
physicality,
at the end.
yeah.
It's still, that's why I enjoyed it, was
Yeah.
because of his delivery on it.
Yeah.
And it's so true to like these interviews that you can watch with like young influencers who are just so cool. If you ask them, they think that
They're so cool and so optimistic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a star.
yeah, yeah. When they are too, though, that's the thing.
They
it's
are,
like
yeah.
you're like, yeah, well, they do. Fandango. This was actually, I think, one of my favorites because I guess as an actor, and we're all actors sitting at the table here, it's nice to poke fun at ourselves of how serious we are and how much we think that the world cares about what we think about things. I think the Meryl Streep thing was a great example of everyone in Hollywood being like, yeah, Meryl, you're so right, standing up and stuff, and everyone outside of Hollywood being like, Hollywood, shut up, you don't know anything about anything, and no one cares what you think about politics, go live in your fake worlds. And we're like, that's not true, we're real people. So... The sketch made me laugh a lot because I felt like it brought attention to that, where these people have this stupid movie, they try and make a tie-in of how it's to do with politics, and just the seriousness of which we take ourselves was highlighted in this because they were all so serious about it. And I have to say, full credit to Kyle Mooney's physicalities with the actors was great. So I really enjoyed this. That's my 2 cents on it because I just thought it was great. What about you, Katie?
I liked you talking about it more than I liked the sketch.
Oh, you did?
Like,
Okay.
listening to you talk about it, I'm like, oh, that's so true. That's not how I viewed it. But now that I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, that's funny. I think I watched it and was like, Hot Robot 3, Escape to Boob Mountain. Why am I watching this?
Okay.
Like, it felt kind of just...
Maybe I dived into it too deep, though.
No, but, I mean, had I looked at it that like I'm listening to that going, oh, that is funny. That is so true. I think I just watched it and was like...
Sure. Like, okay. Yeah,
I only wrote down the name of the movie and then I wrote down weird because I couldn't think of anything else to say. But I did like the touching moment, like, you go.
Yeah. Oh,
I liked that. The rest of it, I was like...
Well, maybe it wasn't that. I just took it as that because I feel like they were like, this was November 9th after it, and it's just a scene from their movie, and they're all like taken aback by their own performances because they're so self-indulgent and such assholes that we're like, yeah, my performance is this and it means this. So.
Yeah, I think as far as like a farce goes, it was perfect for that.
Did you take it like I took it? Or?
I think I did, but not as far like to that same extent.
I need to calm down. Not in such a...
I do feel like had I
calm
watched
down.
you do it and explain it, I would have enjoyed it more.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that is really funny commentary within it, and I think just the way that they did everything of like getting really serious, and then I loved when they did show the actual clip because it was so overdone stupid in the clip, like Beck Bennett's face at the end and like just the lines and everything. Like I liked the way that they executed that, and then coming back to the director, like just always wanting to touch them and be like, and then like stepping on each other's line, like just oh no, and then back just like bowing to him.
I have to say I'm on Kim's side with this one. I enjoyed this mainly because I know who these I know people like this.
Yeah, you've met those actors who are like, this is a one-woman show about recycling, and kind of.
It reminded me a little bit
real.
of the sketch from late last year with where they had the film screening and everyone in the audience was part of it.
Yes, I love
Bringing
that.
them all on stage.
Yeah.
But it's just I know people who do without calling out anyone specifically, who do internet video, and they get attention for it, but then the way they talk about it in they're no, it's very serious and you have to go through it. It's a very determined process that we have to go through. It's you made a 2-minute sketch that was 50% farting, dude.
And they're
Everybody take
it
a step back.
symbolizes the birth of the no.
And they
Thank you,
talk about it more seriously than Meryl Streep does on Inside the Actors Studio.
Totally, yeah, it's so because they even cut to Felicity, and this was I guess one of my favorite moments for her when she's like, "Oh, I got chills," they're giving themselves chills. I don't know. I find actors hilarious. I am one, and we're so serious. And,
Yeah, when they just
that was
poke fun
great.
at themselves like
Yeah.
that.
Corporate retreat. Corporate retreat.
Whoa.
Okay, so was the game here that it's always the quiet ones? Is that the game that it's a workplace thing?
I
and
didn't
it's
even think about it like that.
Is the game that's it's unassuming and that idea of the mousy people being the dirty ones? I guess to me I was
think
okay,
so.
is that the game?
Yeah. I think, the unassuming ones are the ones that, are just going to be, the
Talking
dirtiest,
about
and then...
How loose your
yeah.
vagina is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's really all... Well, I mean, that's all
That's
I
what
took
it
from
was?
it was for a...
My note was more from Biv, please.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote because I thought that Kate McKinnon was great, and she came in and she goes, "Maybe no one's laughing because they're thinking." And I was like, "That's a great observation." And then I was just like, "Oh, I'd like to hear more from Biv
Yeah.
because she was great." But
I know, she came in with the one line, and you're like, oh, you were the sketch, I feel like. Had
Totally.
we gravitated
Yeah.
towards Bev.
Yeah.
I mean, shock value, for
Yeah.
sure. Once she was like, yeah, and then the second prostitute just sinks on top of
chair.
the bar stool because she's so loose. I was like, I had the same reaction Mikey Day had of writing notes and then being like, huh?
yeah,
And as it kept going, I was like, dear God, we're just talking about loose orifices.
yep,
That's it.
Oh, I mean, hey, this is a perfect sketch for the last sketch of the show
Yeah.
to be like, screw it, we're just gonna talk about loose assholes.
yeah.
Because that's really all it was.
That's what it was.
Until good old Bev came.
Yeah.
I did think it was weird that Zashir was like, oh, that's weird. Oh,
Yeah, she
and
turns
gross.
against him at the end, which I
Yeah.
thought was I was
was
hoping they
a
would
weird
tag
choice.
it with this idea of it's always the quiet ones, because I was like, did I impose that on this, and it isn't what it is. But just because
Yeah.
it was like the 2 peas in a pod game, but it was 3 peas in a pod of quiet women with the same kind of hair.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I don't.
That's where I thought it was going to go. Yeah. And then I was super confused at the end because Shear's reactions at the top were cracking me up. Just the dead
Yeah.
stare that she
yeah.
had. And then she's just like, oh, yeah, you are the bad guy. These girls are hilarious. Tell me another joke. And I was like,
It would have made sense if she was also one of the quiet ones, if she was reacting and then got
then
on the mic and was
joined
like,
in,
yeah.
yeah.
also know this joke about da-da-da. But no, it basically meant there were
It was like a line missing or something where he needed to be
Yeah.
like, I wasn't expecting that from you, Karen, or something. I don't know.
Right.
yeah, for a sketch that there really wasn't a lot happening in, there was still a lot happening.
Yeah, because it started with the other character who won something the night before. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was just so many different things that didn't need to be going on.
Yeah.
Someone in the writing room just really wanted to write these jokes out.
I mean, I've heard the anal one. What's different between anal and it's sex? Vagina sex can make your whole
week.
day, and
Yeah.
anal makes your whole week.
Yeah.
But
I've never heard that until now. I can't unforget these jokes. Nor should I.
No.
I'm going to talk about prostitutes enveloping stool.
There you go.
All the time.
Yeah, right. Cool. Well, that was the show this week. I think we had, some highs and some lows.
Yeah.
Donald Trump thought it was awful, but of course he would. And next week is Aziz hosting, which I think will be really, really fun. But until then, you can find us on social media.
At Amy Maestri.
At Katie Wilbert.
And at Kim Crossman. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.